joining us. We are a D&D streaming service with a group of friends working through a homebrew world of my own creation. I am your humble host, James JC Laird, and currently playing with us we have Allura as Kova. Say hello.
Hello.
We have Robin as Dualis.
Hello.
And we have Ryan as Illuminor.
Hello there.
If you have not seen our previous one, I do apologise about the audio. We had some difficulties, but hopefully that has now been sorted, and the people here will be letting me know about the sound quality and such as the stream gets going. I hope that I am now clearer and a bit louder, and perhaps the others are as well, though we'll see about that as time goes on. Robin, would you mind recapping for us what happened last session?
Alright. Well, we got off on our adventure from the docks in a little dinghy after we started and introduced our characters. We sailed for a bit, had a lovely time, no problems, and then we found two barges which were how do you call it? Run ashore?
Indeed.
Yes, ran ashore. And we decided to investigate because they seemed a little bit suspiciously quiet. And after we started investigating and made our way into the barge, we happened upon a troll, which we promptly got rid of. Wonderful time. After which, me and Ilminor decided to investigate the other barge, where suddenly a bunch of shadows came out, beat me up quite badly. After which, we beat the shadows, heroic victory, all was won, looted up the place as best we could, and then marked it as a dead ship and moved on with a new and extra rowboat. So we now have two little dinghy rowboats. And we are still making our way down the river. What time is it in the day now?
It is, you left kind of mid-morning towards the afternoon and you arrived at the Nud, the destroyed and desolate ships around just about 1 in the afternoon. So lunch was had in your short rest while you made preparations to set sail, and now you're continuing down the river to your end destination. Miss Allura managed to nab herself play of the night with the excellent use of an excellent hand job, for lack of better words, because let's face it, that's what it was. And we now proceed as the day continues. So, let's get into this, shall we? The water laps lazily and smoothly around the hulls of your wooden boats. The occasional creak and shifting of your leathers, chains, and robes shuffle as you continue to row downstream, though the currents are propelling you at quite a comfortable pace. Rowing is not necessarily required for movement, more so steering. Along the shores, you can see tall reeds and creatures native to the waterways doing about their business. A strange creature with an ever-long neck and an ever-long curved bill is nuzzling into the earth where it pulls out a fat worm the size of a human arm. It then promptly snips it into multiple pieces and consumes it, looking very happy with itself, shaking out its feathers and puffing up, looking majestic. A fish jumps from the sparkling clear waters as another vessel, a galley, this one a multiple-decked rowing vessel, a long narrow ship, kind of imagine the Roman trireme, or the dureme, I can't remember what the two-tiered versions are, makes its way past you. You gain a few odd looks in your somewhat small craft, but there are many settlements that you have already noticed not too distant from the shores of this very large river. And I do mean quite large. From one bank, you cannot actually see the other bank, and you would be forgiven approaching it for the first time that the end of the world lies upon the horizon, because there is very little in the way of trees in this current section of your travel. Can the people who are rowing make survival checks, please?
Sure. I think that was me and Wallace, I think.
It would be the people who are steering and guiding your vessel and keeping an eye out for various things.
I think Dwell was not, because I think he took a rest from rowing.
We both did and recovered, so...
Oh, then you are. Go ahead and roll, because I got a 6, so let's hope you are rolling.
Okay.
I got a 9.
I'll make sure we crash into every rock. Leave the
How is
navigation
13.
over.
13.
How is the stream looking, by the way?
I checked the audio. The audio for you is fine. I didn't hear anyone else talk, but if you guys want to talk for a little bit, I'll go check it out. So
Sure.
I got
I
13
checked the
on.
audio. The audio for you.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but
Oh, I can hear him through cover, I think, so I hope the audio is probably working.
Sorry.
That's alright. For some reason, the last dice roll that is appearing for me is Illuminor's one at 13, but that's not the most recent roll. So
No, it's
it is
not.
not.
the dice rolling seems to be slightly askew. Let me try something. Okay, back on. Oh, there we go. Dualis 6. There we go. It's updated now.
Yes, my luck is legendary. Among our part.
Can we just make another couple of dice rolls? Could Ryan and Laura just roll a dice for me? There's Dualis at number 2.
Told ya.
What do we roll?
It's a D20.
Just D20. It's Allura with a 13 and Ryan with a 17. Okay, so we're back. Just seems to be a...
It perfectly describes our average rollings.
It really does. It really does. Okay then. Sorry, what did you guys get for your dice rolls there?
13, which is funny.
The wisdom check ones. I got a 9.
Okay. A 9 and a 20? Okay. It's not difficult to navigate your ways through this very vast stream. However, you do notice that, once again, the disappearance and the vastness of the creatures that are moving around this area would indicate a plethora of life. Many small streams and fjords lead off, and you eventually come to a small, narrow waterway that Kova points out and moves your boats further in to the centre of the stream. It was a good thing because as you pass by, you can actually see a number of timbers and wood shrapnel that is clogged up in what seems to be a very small whirlpool. Imagine your little boat might have gotten a little bit stuck if it were not for her keen eyes. You have a couple of hours of kind of like gentle drifting before the night falls. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
Play my nose flute to encourage Kova's rowing.
What sort of environment is it around us? Is it just sort of flat plains land onto the river sort of thing?
Your
It's
initial
empty.
part of the day has been very flat plains. The city of Glass was built upon a large plain which is allowed for large farming and irrigation, which has sustained a large populace. As you're moving further away, you're noticing a little bit more trees now, and the hills are starting to become a little bit rolling. While the floodplains as such of the river have been quite expansive, you're now starting to see bits of rises and bits of jumps.
So I'm probably going to keep my eye out for any sort of massive decline in that of life you see. For those, so for example, if it's like a forested area and it just suddenly drops off, I'm going to try and keep an eye out for that.
We could take it in turns. to maybe go to sleep, have one person rowing, one person as a lookout, two people sleeping, and then swap over.
I think you're miscalculating a little bit.
Am I?
We got 2 boats.
See, why do we have 2 boats?
I don't know, but
In
Ilmenor
case we break one.
wanted to bring another boat from the other ship. Why don't we just make camp on the shores, sleep, just have regular watch schedule, and head out in the morning? I think it's a lot safer than drifting a bit randomly during, like, into the darkness.
Do we get effectively anchors on these boats, JC?
We can
They're
tie them
not-
onto a tree.
Precisely, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not
That's
so
what I'm thinking.
large that they couldn't be lifted from the water. They're heavy, but they're not so large that moving them on land would risk anything like that. Plus, the banks do have quite a lot of sediments, some sand, silt. The reeds that lead out give you kind of a. The current is quite easily broken by moving in between the vegetation and then out onto the land. It's easily enough. It's a very gradual incline.
So it's best to actually stop on the land, for example, instead of sitting by the river.
Well,
I will leave that to
yeah.
your choice. You decide what you want to do, but it's not difficult either way.
So let's. I assume it's now getting night, so let's pull in the boat.
Who has the highest passive perception?
Me. A lovely 19.
Okay then. With a 19, you hear what sounds to be a shrill, cawing cry of some sort, which is very suddenly cut off again, and then once again radiates out at about the same pitch for the same amount of duration, and then cuts off again.
Does it sound like a bird by any chance, or is it not?
It would be a
Bird-like.
nature.
Need to find my character sheet. Nature. That'd be a 16.
16. Listening out, it seems that it could be. It very much sounds avian in origin. But the thing that kind of stands out amid all that is the vibrational echo of it, the distance that such a shrill call would give would probably not travel as far as you're, expecting it. It's lacking any form of distortion. It's, in the same way as an echo would gradually become more and more distant, and large noises from a location will become more and more distant. This sounds as if it's from the other side of the boat. It's very, very clear. Only you're noticing it, though.
I don't see it though.
Nothing at the moment, no.
Do you not hear the bird song?
What? A bird?
Bird song.
Can I make a perception to see if I hear anything?
Certainly.
Same.
Alright.
Dwarf and Triton.
23! Oh my god!
Um,
I got it! I hear it! Eleanor!
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah, you're rolling dice. That's why I'm not seeing it pop up. I was like, oh no, it's happened again. Okay. With a 23 and a dirty 20, you start straining your ears, and you can hear something extremely muffled. But you can tell, yes, there is like some birds, but obviously there's the other birds that are around. So
The chicken getting murdered? And it keeps cutting off like that.
Sounds like more of a pattern.
I mean, what do you think it is?
A
Can I determine where it's coming from?
large creature, perhaps.
JC?
With the amount of distortion that Dwalis and Kova are experiencing in it, you're lucky with your high rolls to even hear it. Whereas Ilmanor, it's so clear, it's definitely coming from. I would say if the front of your ship was due north, it would be coming from like northwestish.
So it's ahead of us, effectively.
Indeed.
Let's go check it out.
Whatever it is, it's somewhere to the head.
Should we stay on the boat or go off the
It's
boat?
best to stay on the boat for now. It
Well, I
means
mean,
we
I
have a
can't-
faster escape.
Do we see any animals in
Stay
the
away from the
vicinity?
bird? Sorry, go ahead, Gova. Say that again. I was talking to you.
Do we see any animals in the near vicinity? Like any birds around anyway?
You see small birds, yes, river birds, things on the shore, small nesting creatures. Nothing overly large.
I would like to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. There are fish nearby and there are birds nearby. To
Bird.
which do you try to speak?
Bird.
Okay then. His beady
He's gonna
eye
see-
looks at you from the side of his head.
Is going to see Kova. Skip to the front of the boat. And point in the direction of the bird that she wants to talk to.
Mhm.
Hello.
It's a medium-sized kind of creature. It's, cupping both hands, it would be able to, like go most of the way around its body. Kind of like a mixture between a chicken and a duck, in effect. Yeah, looks up.
Noises. Birds. What do you know?
Birds. I know birds. Many birds. Many. Meow.
Do you hear the sound?
Meow. Meow. Many.
Can you do me a favor?
Meow. And kind of like pads out into the water and starts kind of like drifting towards your boat.
I'm going to point in the direction that the noise is coming from.
You don't actually know which way the noise is coming from.
As that was ahead of us slightly.
Can I just point in direction of like in front of us?
It kind of looks.
Can you go and check? And then
Birds. Whoosh,
bird.
and it flies off. After a few minutes, you think that bird might not be coming back.
Did you insult the bird in any scene manner?
Was it useful?
Illuminor, you hear the cry of the creature once again, but this time it sounds as if it's having a fight with something. It sounds like squabbling, pecking, scratching, and a feathery dust-up.
I think the birds are fighting. Might be best to
Multiple now?
the one that flew off. I'm guessing maybe another. It's quite loud. Well, you can't hear it very well. Best to keep rowing, I think.
Alright,
It'll look
go
at what's going on.
Hmm.
I mean, if a duck chicken can fight it, I mean, why can't we?
A duck chicken.
ahead. Chicken duck.
Okay.
It was a
It's a
pretty
turk
big
ducking.
chicken duck.
It's a turk-ducking, clearly.
Okay. I'm going.
Took a moment for that joke to sink in, didn't it?
I can go check.
Right? We'll follow you slowly.
We like rowing forwards. We just sitting in the boats. I'm confused.
I don't know.
If I was going to start rowing forwards,
Let's go. I'll go as well. We got 2 boats. That's 2 people rowing, and we're on different boats anyway. So
Yep.
both of our boats are going forward now. Boom.
Okay, so you
Boom.
start rowing forward. Kova, your turducken reappears and it looks like it has been put through the whirlwind blender. Not a single feather on the creature looks like it is still in its original place, and it may be slightly hurt. Ah! Ah!
Oh no.
Is it alright?
It kind of lands on the edge of your boat and then just flops face first into it and just kind of lies there in a heap. Legs sticking up into the air.
Kova, is he okay?
Can I try and make a medicine check?
Certainly.
Oh,
Can I poke him?
Oh, it's so crazy.
When you poke it.
25.
25. In the medical professional term, that turduck can be fucked up.
Guys, we got dinner.
No!
It's still alive and it's not sustained irreversible damage. However, if this creature had, say, 10 hit points, it would have lost 5 hit points in the encounter, whatever it was, and you hear it's kind of muffled squawking from underneath itself. Ah, big bird! Big bird! Oh.
Eleanor, I think the turducken couldn't fight the big bird, so I don't think we should either.
Big bird?
I think it found the big bird.
still alive. That's good. It's good gesture that a turducken can still live.
Look at it! It's fucked up!
Dwalis, it is uncanny how similar this creature's sigh of pain reminds you of the deflating of a bagpipe. The
Somebody get him a bandage.
Yeah, can I try and wrap up his
Yeah, you wrap him up, and how long does your spell last for? 10 minutes, an hour?
so-
60 seconds.
Is it 60 seconds?
No,
I don't know.
Probably not. It's your spell. I don't do spells. I don't do magic.
10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
By the time your spell runs its course, the creature is wrapped up in a bit of gauze and kind of like put back together, and its feathers straightened, and it flops out into the water and starts paddling back towards where its nest should be.
So, are we going to the big bird?
I'll look ahead first. This might be a bigger bird than last time.
I swear, if this episode gets called The Adventures of Turducken,
You should really think that it's going to be called the Big
He is
Bird
our best
Saga.
up now. We will take turducken everywhere.
It's the Big Bird Saga. We're going to have a Sesame Street, or is it the Muppets tie-in? I don't know. All I know is Big Bird's a thing.
I shall stand up in the boat.
Let's get revenge for the big bird.
I think I had an idea that might work better against these birds. I pull out my short bow, I stand up, turn invisible, and I'm going to run forwards. I'm going to dash towards where the bird might be.
Eleanor?
You know, dash
Oh my
forward
God.
into the water. 'Cause we're still
No, you can
I
walk
can
on
walk on
water.
water.
Eleanor, where did you go?
the shifting of the boat beneath you is indicative of your compadre going "fuck you" and making a dash for it.
It's time to hunt.
More.
Eleanor, you run for a couple of minutes before you hear the call again. This time it's coming from much more leftwards of you rather than forwards of you, indicating that it is on the shore. You are also noticing now that the trees, which were once quite sparse, are beginning to become into little stands, 2 or 3 trees to an allotment, the rolling hills becoming much more of a feature of the terrain.
Do I spot this turducken killer?
Make a perception check.
It's only 11 apparently. Yep.
Apparently.
Ugh.
As you gaze around searching for the creature that did your friend a disjustice and a disservice, you spot a very large, rather beautiful looking hawk.
Is it massive or is it just a large hawk?
It's a rather large hawk. It's not massive by any means. It's probably still considered a small or tiny creature, but it has a good dimensions to it.
Is it perched on the ground or on a tree?
It is on the tree and it is looking at you.
Directly at me.
It's like looking at you directly with one of its very keen eyeballs.
Are you really a bird?
And it's as if this very majestic, much more musical call than it has, if this is the creature that has been giving it out, gives out.
I'm going to try talking in Sylvan to it. Why did you hurt the turducken? If you can understand me.
It looks at you keenly.
The boat drifts up in.
What language was that?
We're not there yet.
We're not there.
We're still
I got
floating
off.
in the boat, and we don't even know if we passed him because he's fucking invisible. Which we don't know, except for the fact that he's gone.
I'm going to move towards it slowly.
It watches you.
I'm going to pull out a ration and put it on the ground in front of it. Or if it's near the ground.
I have a question. If he's invisible, how does the bird just see the ration come out of thin air?
Apparently it sees me.
Bird got good eyes, boy.
Okay.
Which is why I'm worried by it.
I mean, when you're running on water, there's bound to be a displacement on it.
We'll see.
You lay your ration bar down on the ground, and do you stand near it? Do you move back from it?
I move back from it.
Okay, you move back. The creature... The rest of you now hear this cawing sound, and again, it sounds as if it's half a song. It's as if every second note is taken out of it, and that's why it's perhaps cutting off so jarringly to you, because you're only hearing half of what you should be hearing. And now that you're much closer, you can hear that definite distinction between the cause and the music that this bird is making. And again, it's to all of you somewhat eerie.
Can I replicate it?
Actually, hold on a second. Will, you hear this, and you're hearing, because you've not been here till now, you similarly are hearing this creature. You've been hearing it quite clearly, whereas the others outside of Illuminor have indicated that it's been very muffled. You, on the other hand, have been hearing it as clearly as he has been.
I understand.
So does it take the ration bar?
It does. It moves down and begins to pick at it, using a long taloned claw to peel off sections of it and pull out the berries and the nuts that it then, gobbles up quite greedily, I would say.
I just go a gentle bow. I shall be back in a moment. Don't worry. I drop the invisibility and I just walk back at a normal pace towards the rest.
Mhm.
I just go, it's the biggest bird you've ever seen, I tell you. Oh, it's massive.
Where the fuck did you come from?
The rest of you see Illuminor walking towards you, and as he kind of like moves casually towards the water's edge, behind him is a rather large-looking, quite colourful hawk with a ration bar in his beak, which he
Oh, it's
puts down
following
and
me.
starts pecking at again.
Wait,
That's a
it's
big
following
fucking bird.
Perhaps comes up to about mid-thigh, about your knee.
him.
It seemed to be able to see me.
What?
It could see me while I was being a sneak.
The sneak? You can sneak on water?
Let's sneak.
Or-
Of course I
What?
can. It's a skill of
How,
mine.
how can you sneak on water?
Carefully.
Show me.
I currently can't for now. I've used his apple today.
Well, that's useless.
Another time.
Alright,
Possibly.
I'll keep you to that.
But what an interesting bird here. It likes to attack turduckens.
Kova, can you talk to this one like the other one? See if this one is the one that beat up turduckens, because if he is, we're gonna have a word with him.
I've tried. Doesn't understand my languages.
Well, Kova can talk to animals apparently, and I don't know if you can.
Sort
Can
of.
you?
Sure, I'll cast Speak with Animals
Really?
and I will
You can speak to
speak
animals? then?
Sort of.
with Hawky Hawk.
Okay, you can't speak with animals. What do you say to it?
I want to turn around to the party and say, "What say? What say?"
Did he beat up turduckens?
Ah, what it is.
What are you?
In a much more refined voice than the other creatures that you have spoken with, it responds, I am a fae.
They. But you look like a bird.
And you look like a fish woman.
Yeah.
Arthur understood what I was saying.
I know I'm beautiful. I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't
You
understand?
choose to be like this?
It looks at you blankly, as if you're an idiot.
I am an idiot.
How does it know?
Kova, did he beat up turduckens?
In the same way that a bird cocks its head in misunderstanding, this bird seems to cock its head as if it's dealing with someone that it doesn't want to deal with. It's like, oh. It goes back to pecking at the ration.
Do you attack or the birdies?
It looks up.
Hmm?
What I do.
But why?
What did he say, Kova?
He does. Shut up.
Do you not eat fish, woman?
He's eating the birdies.
What?
That's a ration bar on the floor, you know.
Turduckens was still okay. You just beat him up.
You just use it. Food. Food.
What? Do we have a plan with the big bird? Do we need something from him? Illuminor?
Ask, can it understand me, please? Or did it understand?
Did you understand? The ugly looking one.
I understand you.
But how about that one? And I'm gonna point towards him.
Yes.
Yes.
Which one else is he pointing to?
How?
He's whistling very aggressively at us.
Why?
Did one of us get pointed to, by the way?
Yeah, me.
Ah,
Do you know what it is yet, Koa?
They.
Day?
There.
Ah. Alrighty then. I was to sit cross-legged next to it and go, are you looking for something in Sylvan?
It moves up to you and pecks you in the back of the hand.
I sort of reach my hand out.
It
It
wants
seems
to
to
you.
be. It seems to be accepting of the hand reach, watching the hand.
Yamil, what the fuck are you doing?
Please tell the fish-like woman what you are doing, possibly. I'm sorry to disturb you.
He turns to Kova. Tell this one that I quite enjoy his company. He has a kindred spirit. I would like him.
Ugly.
I do not hear you relaying my instructions.
What's it, Boots? He said
Yes?
he likes you.
Well, a fantastic beast like him should like me as well. It's very finely plumed. It's very well cared for.
And it seems to puff up a little bit.
Is this its home by any chance? Do you live here?
Where's the rest of your family? On own?
It isn't seeming to want to talk to you anymore, Kova.
Ah,
So, what are we gonna do, guys? Just make camp now? Do we see a good place for making camp, JC?
Here is as good a place as any, to be completely fair. The level of the rolling hills is not so steep as to be difficult terrain or anything. It's a feature of the land, and with the small stands of trees now dotting, it would give you a little bit of shelter if anything came in the night. And with the small eddy that is in the river at this point, the banking being somewhat sharper here, pulling the boats up and giving them a bit of a tug onto the land would see them fairly well secured.
Alright,
I'm going to draw a circle and an X on the floor in front of me and the fey bird. And just gesture to the circle saying yes and the X for no.
It hecks the circle for yes.
Is this place safe?
It moves into the circle, looking at you.
Do you enjoy games?
It nods.
I just sort of pull out a little cylinder device with multiple pins in it, and I sort of open it up so the little pins I would be withdrawn and put in different places in an array of holes, like an X fashion, and go, the aim is to leave no holes empty, but you can only jump over other pins, and I remove the single center pin.
It pulls out one of the pins.
I was going to start playing the game for him while they set up camp.
Yep.
I'm not gonna set up your part of camp, fuck that.
Perfectly alright.
sleeping bag roll.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go cook.
Can each of you make a... Well, one person can help us to set up the camp for the night and make a group roll, or you can each roll individually. Would be a survival.
For setting up the camp?
Yep.
I'm going to help Robert. I'm going to help Dolius set up the camp.
Thank you very much, Anil. That'd be appreciated. Does that give me advantage?
It does, yes.
Alright. The 20. That's a 12. And this one is another 12. Our camp is shabby, but it's there. I put up most of the tents, but I have a feeling that Ilmanor's tent might collapse on itself if he doesn't get in it the right way. I'm gonna go play some nose flute and then make myself some dinner.
I'm not sure why, but the dice rolls aren't coming through again.
God damn it!
Okay, Ilmanor's 11 is my last one that's showing for some reason. Hold on,
Maybe
let
it just
me...
needs to update. There's only 2 after that.
I don't understand why this is deciding to be difficult. Strange. Okay, well, we'll try and... No, dang it, now the overlay isn't even working. What's going on? Why does it not like me? In that back.
Oh, that's what's gone. There it is. Yeah, it got updated.
And then... Okay, let's see.
Shall I make a roll real quick to chess?
Okay, that's... nope, I think we're good now.
Alright.
Right. Fingers crossed. Yes, with the 12, you, as you kind of suggested, your camping materials are set up and set up fairly comfortably. You don't have any real reason to doubt your own ability. The soft mossiness of the low rising is quite comfortable to bed down upon, and with the height of the mounds giving you some protection from running water, it seems a fairly good camp.
Alright, who's taking first watch? Eleanor, are you still playing with the bird?
I'll take first watch.
Well, if Eleanor's still playing with the bird, he can take it.
I'll be up for a while later.
How long do you spend with the hawk?
A couple more hours while we're just playing, and I just go, JC, do I recognize this type of bird from the Feywild?
Roll a nature, please.
18.
18. You recognize this creature as a Valinor hawk. They are symbiotic creatures and seek out other Fae to form a union, I suppose is the best terminology I can create. You imagine that whatever union it had with another person no longer exists, or it has come here by unusual means and was calling out in search for someone that would harmonise with it. You seem to have fit the bill.
My good Valinor, are you alone here before we arrived?
Who's type naughty time?
Kova.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. It shows up on StreamCo.
It's alright. If you're going to type to one another, though, use one of the other chats. Yeah.
No, I was just pointing out the bed wants naughty time with Illamore.
Yeah, no,
Because they're
that's
synchronized.
They won't fit in their fucking tent. It will collapse on them. It's their problem.
I don't be using a tent anyway. So my good Valinor, are you alone here?
It
Does seem like a place for you. Is it gesture to the circle?
It is. It nods. It seems to be responding without the use of the circles.
How long have you been here? That may be hard to actually communicate. I'm sorry I do not understand you so well.
It cocks his head as if, how do I answer that question?
I understand.
After spending about an hour with this creature, you feel as if something connects in the back of your mind. And I will send you the statistics of your new animal companion.
Ooh.
I would recommend saving that.
I will. So I've got first watch correct.
You do this.
I'm just gonna... my friend, I must keep an eye out while the others sleep for a while. I do not need as much rest as they do. So, you are free to spend as much time as you want with the game, or here's another ration bar if you need it. I will keep an eye out.
Onto your shoulder, gives you an affectionate peck on the top of the head, and then jumps up into a tree and seems to bed down for the evening. Now, with two elves in your party, you do not need to take a rotating system. If one elf is awake and the other elf is trancing, then that can be done the same way around. Naturally, if you wish to take a watch with somebody, that is no problem, but the Kova and Wallace do not need to necessarily. Just let
Kova's
you
just
know
found
that.
Kova's just found some moss on the ground and is currently dug it out and is currently sleeping inside it.
I don't
Very
mind
well.
taking the last 4 hours. If you guys want like some longer rests.
That'd be appreciated, and in return, I'll prepare breakfast for you tomorrow. Yes,
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it already.
I'll do my best to make it tasty. I am a fine chef, if I do say myself.
Perfect. I'm always hungry in the morning.
All right, I'll turn in for the night then. Thank you very much.
Ilminor, can you make a perception?
Indeed. 14.
14. As you have now bonded with your creature, you feel its presence move almost like a campfire. Its warm, glowing feel in the back of your mind when it is awake, and right now they seem to be quite cold and a very warm amber glow as the creature sleeps. This kind of distracts you somewhat, but your watch continues, and as you muse, do you do anything with your number of hours?
I'm just going to start carving a moon-like shape into the earth. Do I see a moon above me? Like, is there one visible?
There is two visible, yes.
I'll just carve both in the sort of shape they're currently in, so be it full or crescent. I'll sort of gently do that throughout my watch.
Okay then. Your watch comes to an end without any major incident, and as you rise your fellow elf to take their watch, would you mind rolling your perception, please, Will?
Problem. 18. What do my elf eyes see?
Again, it's not I don't know if it's just not updating very quickly or if it's there's some issue.
He rolled it in Roll20, so.
I rolled an Roll20 and you're not scrolled down to the bottom, so you're not getting updates in the chat. To be why you're not getting updates. There you go. If you scroll to the bottom, it should update every time.
Yeah, there we go. It's there now. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure where you were rolling there. With your 20, you kind of pace around a little bit, searching around the area, and in so doing, you notice what your other companions have not noticed. Where the moss and such is covering the ground like a soothing, soft blanket, it would appear that the moss itself is, or should have been, connected to a larger stand of trees. And as you go around and look at where the trees are and where their patterns is, you can clearly see where a number of them have been removed from the earth. You can see pock marks and large depressions where the earth and the roots have been pulled free.
Okay. I get out my book and start reading. I don't really know what to do with it. I just keep an eye on it. I keep my eye flickering to it just in case there's something there.
Okay.
But I'm not very survival. I'm not very good at survival. So it wouldn't make sense for me to look into it.
Deftly flicking through your erotic poetry that you forgot that you had packed, you change books and go back to your spell book, studying it and preparing yourself for the new day. Can you please prepare the spells that you will have at your disposal? And the rest of the night goes without really much else to report. A soft spattering of mist covers the dawn, and in the depressions of the hills you can see a faint dregs of this fog that has yet to or was unable to fully form. The morning is crisp, clear, and the sky is without a single cloud in it.
Right, I'll get out of my tent, look at the other two tents, see they're not being used, and go, what? Why did I even put them up? They want to work over! I put up a tent for you guys!
But it's a beautiful night.
I'm just gonna
They're being weird.
pick some moss up off the ground and start rubbing it in his face.
I'm gonna try to dodge her, and probably fail because I'm a dwarf.
She gets nabbed.
Just in time as you complain, you feel this smoosh into the side of your features, and as you push it away, you're like, "Argh!"
Gova!
Nice.
Well, no! Well, it's nice, but there's bugs and shit, you know?
It's
Go on
weird.
now. You should
It's
really
very
take a
weird.
bath, Gova.
No.
Yes! And I'll move to the campfire and start making me an breakfast.
Okay.
Can I see if there's any berries or vegetation around that I could get?
Make a survival. And what purpose are you looking to grab these for?
I wanted to make myself a nice yummy breakfast, but I got a natural one.
She finds poison.
But I got an 8!
As you move around, you go, aha, pick it up. No, that's a pebble. And just go around, aha, pull up something else. No, that's just a twig. And aha, you pull up something, that's a finger bone. A finger bone!
What? Is it from my hand?
No, it's not!
Fingers tend to come from hands, yes.
No, is it from my hand that I have?
Yes, it is.
Not.
Yeah.
Come on!
You look at your handy dandy do it all device, and you see that it is missing a finger, and the other 3 fingers have curled over, are now this kind of very misshapen, skeletal looking fist.
Why do you still have that, by any chance?
It's mine. Go away.
I'm not getting in a boat with her anymore.
Alright.
You can get in the front boat this time, Ilmenor.
I only ran the one that rose, so it seems like it will.
Can she swim?
She's a fucking fish woman, of course she can!
That would be a given.
I'm just looking at him with bewilderment. Like, are you stupid?
He's pulling the bird's face off his expression.
It's uncanny how
Like, can't
similar
she swim? Like, she can swim. She can swim instead of going in the boat. If we don't want that, like, that made it.
I was just thinking of sharing a boat with you, but if you don't want me in there either, fuck it! I'll go. I'll get my own boat. You guys can hold this wall.
With you. I was just.
What the hell do we even need 4 boats?
2 boats.
It's your boat.
Okay, 2 boats. You 2 are the rowers, so I got to go with one of you.
Are you incapable of rowing yourself, Inil?
I mean, I look at my arm. I like point at my arms. And
Yeah. Never mind. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yeah.
Your magic. Shit.
He is skilled in
I
other
could if you
matters.
wanted me to, but it wouldn't be very good.
You'll be there for moral support, my friend. I'll do the heavy lifting.
I'll be giving you advantage on your rowing.
Yes. I will do great and not crash into any more rocks.
At the back, I have the idea of an old backseat rowing. Look out, the rock there!
Ah.
Oh, you're awake.
What the fuck was that? Is that your fucking bird? Is
Is
he
that
still
a
here?
horn?
The bird
that
looks
a horn?
as if it is insulted at being considered to make the mooing sound of a cow, as a cow meanders over to you guys, its bell on its neck, dunk 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 dunk.
Ah.
Ah!
Are we near a settlement, by any chance?
I'm just gonna go up and cuddle the cow.
It runs away from you.
I don't think it likes that. I don't think it likes
No.
that.
Come back, friend!
It
I'm
just
going
starts
to
running
give Inil
around.
his-
It just starts
I'm gonna
running
give Inil
around
his-
the stand of trees away from Kova.
I'm going to give Inil his breakfast to enjoy while watching a scene of Kova running circles around a tree after a fucking cow.
I just sit down next to the tree with my my new bird friend and just watch.
And then I'm gonna go pack up camp and get the boats ready to go.
Cow, love me!
Kova, stop chasing that cow and help me out with these boats.
I wonder who owns it.
What?
Me.
What, the cow or the boat?
Yes. No, the cow.
Our fucking boat.
Oh,
Of course, he's thinking about cows.
of course.
In the background, the DM has just face palmed.
There should be a farmer around here somewhere with missing a cow, so if Kova would stop chasing it, it could go back to its herd.
It's mine now. It's mine. No,
Kova, no, it's not.
no, it's mine.
No, it obviously has a bell, so it's someone's, not yours. Come on, stop chasing it.
Mm-mm.
Stop chasing it.
The cow starts
gonna-
to run towards the distant horizon. Do you continue to follow it, Kova?
I'm gonna face
Yes.
plant and walk away. I'm gonna face plant and walk towards.
You 3 watch as the cow and Kova begin charging out somewhat in the direction that you are wanting to go, and back in the direction the cow came from.
Kova, come back!
At least the cow's heading home, I assume.
But the cow.
There'll be more cows. Don't you worry. We'll find some more cows for you.
Stop running!
Quite a bit much effort to try and yell to her over now. She's quite far away, actually.
I don't think
How
she can hear us
far?
anymore, guys.
How far and how long do you chase after this cow for?
about 5 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I kinda want to catch.
With that level of determination, you are able to catch up with the cow.
Stop running! Love me!
It's like just steadily walking away from you, its sides heaving and its udders jingling.
I gotta go eat now, so I'll be back in about half hour.
I'm gonna try and give it a cuddle again.
I've still got 10 minutes. You attempt to wrap your arms around the cow, and it doesn't reciprocate.
But does it take the cuddle?
It doesn't seem to have much of a choice in the matter anymore.
It tried to get away. It's exhausted. It can't run anymore.
Kova, you spot smoke on the horizon.
I'm gonna go back to the party.
You said that so casual. I'm gonna go back to the party.
Yeah.
Right. I'm loading up the boat.
The boat is very well loaded. Do you wait for Kova to return?
Oh yeah, no, I'm putting the stuff in there to set off when she gets back. If she gets back. Hopefully she gets back at some point. I don't know. I'm just playing my nose flute when I'm done. Just gonna sit there, play my nose flute. Here we go, another performance check. My last one was terrible, but this time I'll do good. 14. It's okay.
A slow clap.
The hawk seems to be almost insulted by this level of music and begins to sing over the top of it.
I'm gonna try harder.
No. Oh no.
Can I use up one of my fighting spirits to make this one real?
Make an acrobatics check.
Not 20, 24.
The hawk has flown close to your features, and as you duck out of the way, you imagine it was trying to snatch at your flute. It then swoops back around and perches atop of Illuminor's shoulder.
I'm going to point my flute at it and say, "If you touch my flute, I'm gonna have you for fucking dinner, mate." And I'm gonna continue playing.
Puffs up and kind of like flexes its arms as if, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough," kind of way.
I pull out my giant ass fucking samurai blade and go, "You wanna go, motherfucker? This is my flute. It's been given to me by our uncle. You're not getting it." I'm gonna walk away, blade drawn.
Kova, you return to see Dwalis having a shouting match with an overlarge hawk.
And then angrily walk away with his blade out, sit against the tree with his blade like resting against his shoulder, and continue playing.
He's not worth it. He's not worth it.
I'm still playing with my 14, okay? Don't hate me. I'm just not good at music.
I thought you were plenty good enough.
And you call me weird.
Oh, you're back. Where did you go?
Cow,
Did you catch it?
give me a hug.
You gave it a hug. Was it happy?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah. No. Maybe.
What?
Fire back there. Smoke. Mm-hmm.
What?
Smoke.
There's a
Back
fire.
there.
Did you see bubbles on fire?
No, smoke.
Should we go see if it's like a building? Maybe that was the farm that the cow came from. Oh gosh. Kova! Wait, Inil, do you want to go help? I think we should go help. Let's go help. Come on. Inil? Bit of backup here? No? Okay. Imanor, you and your bird, you'll help, right? Yeah, you're good, Purple. Come on. Kova, lead the way.
He sighs heavily as if this entire debacle is just over so much effort, but he eventually agrees to come with you.
Right, hurry up. Go, lead the way. Where was it?
I'll go back in the way that I was chasing the cow.
Okay. You walk for about 10 minutes or so before you start spotting the rising pillars of smoke. It's a few pillars, it's not one simple strand. You can distinctly tell by their distance apart upon the horizon and the swirlingness as they combine higher up as in the wind currents. That multiple buildings either have been on fire or are currently on fire.
See?
Let's go see if we can help someone out. And I start running towards there.
Okay.
Ah.
Come
A
on,
few minutes
Gova.
later, a few minutes of running later, you pass by a cow that seems to be on the ground, panting heavily. It may be dying of exhaustion.
Are you okay? Move if you're okay.
It wheezes and just lies there.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna like grab my drinking sack, feed it like a sip of water, and then run off. Continue on. You'll be okay.
You crest the small rise that depicts this bit of the valley. You've been moving steadily uphill across the floodplain and now have tipped over the other side of it. The lush meadows that you see beneath you, tilled cropped fields and low stone walls ringing an expanded boundary around a couple of farmsteads. The farmhouse is a smouldering ruin, and the barn has on its skeletal wooden frame its outer boarding and plating now destroyed. Chickens and animals are in a very small amount and are scattered around the location. Some of them have clearly been killed.
By weapons?
You can spot a couple of large bolts along with arrows.
Do I see people?
You see a body.
That's not good. Can I go see how bad the body do?
And as you move into the valley proper, moving towards the stone boundary, you can see that a section of it has clearly been destroyed and bowled over. Whatever large creature has come through here has done a good job of dismantling this passive defense. The crops themselves seem to have been left for the most part, aside from where large swathes of them have been trampled or have been broken. You see a number of grapevine and stalks that are no longer connected to the larger portion, along with another allotment that seems to have been heavily trampled.
That's not good.
And as you cast around looking at the destruction, many buildings of whatever farmstead this is, 3 or 4 buildings in total now in shambles, most of them broken, destroyed, or smouldering from small amounts of fire that still linger on them. We're going to take a break.
Alright.
So we shall be back in a few minutes. So join us then, and we shall see you shortly.
Alright.
And welcome back. We return as the party has arrived at a burnt-out farmstead. The signs of raiding, pillaging, killing, and looting all around them, and the hallmarks of something untoward striking whatever family and peoples lived here. And I will turn it over to you. Again, as I said, there is a farmhouse and a stable that are connected on one side, and a large farm barn building that is its skeletal remains. The crops and such that are surrounded by a boundary of stone, low walls, has been trampled and shows sign of fighting. There are other buildings in the distance that show similar signs of distress.
Can I search for more bodies?
Certainly, where do you search?
The buildings that are a bit off. That we're not near.
The ones in the distance?
First I'll do a lap around the barn, see if I can find anything over there.
Okay,
And,
like I say, what is it you're looking for? Or are you just going to scan around and see if you notice anything?
I'm gonna scan it. I'm gonna try to do a quick run around and see if I can see any buddies or anybody possibly.
That would be a
still alive.
perception.
Alright, here we go. Hold on. Tell me, what do my dwarven eyes see with an 18?
An 18, as you move around the building, you scent the smell of burnt flesh.
Oh, that's bad. Is it coming from
Within
inside?
the building proper, you can see the skeletal remains of many creatures.
Oh boy. Can I run over to the house instead?
Certainly. The household,
Right.
the door has been broken off of its hinges and lies flat on the interior. Wooden planking and wooden steps rise up to give the abode slightly off the ground, and perhaps has a basement beneath. The initial interior hallway shows signs of rapid movement and a struggle. A painting, or I should say a mirror, on the wall has fallen and smashed across the ground. The door lies atop it.
Does the... Alright. Does it look
Sorry,
like
the door
it was
lies
done-
beneath it.
Does it look like a human could have torn off the door, or does it look like it was some kind of big monster?
That sounds like an investigating as you're looking for specifically at one item.
Okay. My dwarven eyes see nothing with a 7.
You can see where the door has obviously blown off its hinges, and you can see where the door frame has taken a large level of blow. It's as if something has strained the housing that the frame is set into.
I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna like put my hand to my cheek or my chin in that like thinking man pose. And I'm gonna go, I could have done that with my sword. Maybe it might have been a dwarf. You never know.
Do we see any footprints?
Why are you being so racist, man? Like, it could be anyone with a sword.
Oh,
Make a survival cover.
18.
18. You guys, other guys, feel free to jump in with ideas and things that you want to look at. Don't leave it to just those
Was
two.
it still burning?
The fires have gone out. There are some smouldering remains. The skeleton of the barn, for example, is still leaving trails of smoke off of it. With an 18, you say. Looking around, you notice a couple of very large footprints amid smaller ones. You can see that there were large footprints moving at some level of speed by their impression of the toes and the impact of the heel, that they were charging towards the door. That would perhaps explain why it has been shattered off of its hinges. The creature is rather large.
I'm gonna get down on the floor. I'm gonna look at the footprint more closely. Do I know what animal, beast, thing this is?
That would perhaps be a nature to identify what type of creature this is.
25.
25. Judging by the size of the footprint, it is something of giant kin. Beyond that, there's not really much more impression that you can gain from it. However, as I think about it with your high roll, you probably can gather that this happened at it happened at sundown the night previously, if not slightly beforehand.
Can I tell which way the feet went? Like
The footprints are moving all over the place. There has been a lot of people moving around in this vicinity. There's been small footprints, large footprints, hoof marks, the movements of livestock. There's no clear, distinct path in your current vicinity.
How many livestock corpses can we see?
Not many. Not many.
They may have come for the cattle, which may be easier to follow.
So there's been some cattle rustling going on.
And probably some other stuff has been stolen as well, which you can't really tell from the fire.
I understand. I don't understand.
treasure.
They might have some.
Oh, I'm gonna look for treasure.
I'm going to go
Where
look
do
around
you
the
look for
perimeter.
treasure? I think is perhaps the better question of where do you look for treasure?
In all of the farms, the houses.
Well, that's a very big area to do that in. So how about we narrow that down to building by building or location to location?
Yeah. Let's go the farm first.
Okay, the farmhouse. You join Dwalis in the entryway. A simple staircase leads up from the entranceway on your right. It has a simple wooden banister, but you can see that it has been snapped. Blunt force seems to be the culprit. On the left-hand side, there is a sitting, dining, kitchen area that connects the front to the back of the house, and the hallway that leads through seems to connect in some way to this kitchen at the rear. You can see another... no, actually, you wouldn't see that from there.
I go in the kitchen. I want to raid the pantry.
You move into the kitchen and look into the pantry. Everything has been sacked. Every food item has been taken. You can see multiple blood stains as well, but no bodies.
Can I search the perimeter of this hamlet farmhouse section to try and find the entry and exit ways of the tracks?
Certainly, I'm going to give Allura a bit more detail there.
Cool.
The doors of every cupboard have been pulled open with savage ferocity. Each one shows strain from the forcefulness of the search. Drawers have been pulled open and their contents spill out across the floor. The only things that remain are the remains of broken china and plateware, and the bloodstains indicate that someone was dragged from the dwelling out the rear.
Can I look out the back way to see if I see anybody there?
You look out and you do not see any corpse.
Oh.
Ilmenor, you were looking around the area. I mean, again, this is a farm, remember.
Farmhouse.
It's a big area. It's not a simple case of you just scan around it like a building. It's a big thing, so...
I was going to get my new companion to sort of look from above, look for damaged foliage, that sort of stuff.
Well, as I said, most of what you see has been damaged in some way. You can see the tracks that some large creature has made in some of the fields as they've come in and raided, and then they've moved on from here through to another. Well, the other farmstead from your friend's perspective. Well, actually, you can't see through his eyes, so he flies up and cries to get your attention, then begins to circle above one of the other farmsteads.
I'll start heading in that direction.
Okay, as you do, he circles down and lands atop one of the burnt, I should say, singed abodes.
What do I see with this farmhouse? Is it?
It'll take you a
like
minute or
doors
two to get there. It's the farms aren't so
okay.
close together to make a connecting or like an alleyway. Each farm has its own plot and such.
Okay.
Will, are you doing anything, or are you just picking your nose?
I'm just a bit
Picking the nose.
The farmhouse. It's not exactly where I'd want to be. Yeah. I'm acting a
below
bit
him.
squirmish.
You alright now?
Just don't like it. It's all dirty like her.
I'm gonna throw mud at him, I swear to God.
I'm used to being clean everywhere.
Well, we are out in the wild, you know. Anyway, let's continue.
I know where we are. I just don't want to be where we are. I'd rather be nice and comfy at home.
Well, then why did you come?
I needed the money.
Then don't complain about it. Come on. Should we follow the trail that you found, Kova, or should we go back to the boat?
Treasure?
Is there treasure here? Do you think this poor farm will have
Hopefully.
treasure?
Yeah.
Make a sweep.
Remember,
I'll even
treasure
help
her
you.
is hands. So just be
Yeah.
careful what you think.
I'll even help you. Just don't expect me to give you an actual hand.
Kova, the trail that you can see out the back, if you follow it, leads you around the side of the building towards the stables.
I'll go in.
Inside the stables, you can see a number of bodies have been carelessly tossed in here.
Mm-hmm. Any live ones?
No, they are clearly no longer alive.
Oh, I'm gonna raid their bodies.
You're what?
What?
Okay, make an investigation.
An investigation.
Investigate away.
21.
Looking at these bodies, there is nothing of value here. You do notice that all of these are male. Male children, male young men that seem to be quite hardy, and a somewhat older male.
I'm gonna chop off Grandad. Granddad's arm.
Okay then. With a
I'm not even there.
what weapon do you have that you can do this with?
Scimitar.
Okay, with a you lop off an arm. You now have an arm
Yeah.
at your disposal.
I mean, if it's bleeding, I'm gonna rip off one of the people's clothes, wrap it round so it stops blood flow, drain it.
I mean, it doesn't bleed as such as it oozes, and well, you are able to do so as you desire.
And
I'm gonna go out the back of the house, look for Kova.
You
She's gonna
emerge from the back
think
of the household just in time to hear a.
What was that?
Oh no, she hasn't done it again, has she?
I'm gonna rush up to the barn.
The stables,
Look,
which is
guys.
connected to the household, you walk in just in time to see Kova pulling the tunic from one of the other bodies and wrapping it around a freshly severed arm.
My face contorts, like, um, in both discomfort, anger, and just like, what the fuck are you doing?
I was gonna wave with the arm.
Kova, put that back! Come on now!
I hear him, and so I start following him.
You,
Kova, we should
you
bury
three
these
stand in
people.
the empty stables.
Oh, she's done it again.
She's cut off this guy's arm!
Oops, she did it again.
Come on now, we should be burying these poor folk.
It would be much more respectful than using their arms as playthings.
Kova, put his arm back, with him.
I'm gonna run away.
Kova!
I think we just have to let her have her hand.
I'm gonna not chase her, but I am gonna move to see if I can bury the bodies.
Okay, it will take you
go.
some time to do so, and in that time, I will transfer to Kova and to Illuminor, as them two are now approaching one of the other farmsteads.
Is this sort of the same ordeal as the other ones? Burnt, raided, that sort of stuff.
It seems to be, however, you notice a different sort of destruction.
In what way? Is it more blunt force, sort of smashing?
You'd have to what building do you go and have a look at? Because this farmstead is a larger farmstead and seems to have a much grander home, and the stables and the barn are set off at quite a distance from the actual household.
I'd check
These
the
don't
actual
seem
house.
to have been burnt as such, though the top, or like I should say, a quarter of the household seems to have given in at the back.
I'll check out the main household, the big building.
Okay,
I'll
moving
go
up
with
to
him.
the door, you notice that this door has not been blasted off its hinges. Instead, it has been hacked and chopped. The distinct markings of something cleaving into it and breaking it down rather than blunt force splintering it. Inside, once again, it is a similar setup, though this time the immediates on your left and right are two rooms. Just after the doorway on the left is a curved staircase leading up, and underneath that staircase there is another door. At the end, you can see where part of the building has begun to collapse. You can see where the roofing has sagged from the floor above, and whatever is in that corner room is going to be very difficult to excavate.
I'm going to start looking for bodies or evidence of who might have attacked this place.
Okay, just simply scaling around the entire building, you notice a couple of bodies. They have been grievously wounded, lacerations across all their arms and chests. They seem to have been in fright, in panic in the moment of demise. They are again male, and there is a child here as well.
Can I tell if there's sword slashes? Is that possible?
A slash is a slash. It's. Go ahead and make an investigation. With your understanding of the blade, you might have an idea.
That will be 14.
Okay, give me 1 second just to grab the. Uh, da, 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 da. Let me just get that. like that. Yes, this seems to have been done with a short sword.
Okay, so it makes it more like a bandit attack sort of thing. What race are these people that have been murdered?
Human.
Sand Republic then. Is there any sort of identifying insignia for their house, or are they just sort of a common peasant?
They are of peasant stock. They are commoners. There's no real distinguishing feature.
Yeah.
The only thing that really stands them apart is the fact that this household is bigger than the rest. You're kind of the room that you find them in is the back left room. It seems to be some form of living abode. There is a small hearth in the right-hand wall that connects into the rear of the household, and then the rest of the house has a number of shuttered windows. You can see where you can see a number of bolts, arrows, and slashes have carved open the shutterings of this room.
Does it look like it would have been done by multiple people, or is it like a small group sort of thing? Can I tell from the amount of slashing and bolts?
At least there are 3, because you've got slashes and crossbow bolts and arrows.
Yeah.
The bolts, however, are huge.
Or what, like a ballista size sort of thing? Or a scorpion?
Something like that, yes.
So, you know where the bolts have landed? I'm going to go out into the sort of field where they've been fired from and look for any sort of indentation into the ground. Like it's been placed down, for example.
Okay, as you kind of glance around and look at areas where they could have come from, moving in a straight line from the trajectory where the bolts have sunk into the wood, you don't notice any form of emplacement. No trapezoid, no cube markings, no digging into the ground or anything like that. You just find again these very large footprints.
And are also like smaller footprints around that large footprint?
You find other footprints along the way that are small, but none that
Of
would
the size.
None that would suggest, for example, in a crew of some sort using a ballistae.
Something's just fired something really big. Do those tracks lead back to the last household? So that the other farmstead? Or is it impossible to tell?
Make a survival.
Can I help him with that or not?
11.
Certainly.
Oh,
Roll with advantage.
18.
18. Having a look around, you don't notice any connecting footprints between the farmsteads. The thing that you do sort of recognise, though, is that the footprints have all, well, at least the 2 that you've seen, the damage of the other farmstead coming from its where the farmsteads kind of connect together. If there was a central point, you can identify that the creatures have come from a direction and have attacked each of the farmsteads. At least these 2 farmsteads have been attacked by 2 groups.
Oh, I see. How many men in total were there from the places I've known? I've seen them.
You haven't seen any. You don't know anything about the
I've
other
seen-
bodies. You fucked off before you did
No,
any of them.
how many days
investigating.
in the house that I was just saying it was free, right?
Yes, you saw an adult, a teenager, and a young child.
Okay. Probably means there was females as well then. I'm gonna go look at the barn.
Okay. Dwalis and Illness, what are you've dug graves for your collection. What would you like to do now?
Probably go after the other two. Right, Ellen?
I think going after the other two seems like I'm following. But first, I wipe the mud off my hands. I'm not used. I don't like it.
Alright, we'll be back on the river in no time, and you can wash up your hands.
The four of you reconvene once more, just as Eleanor, you kind of come to this conclusion that there is two groups that have raided. At least one group raided the other farmstead, and another group raided this farmstead.
Yeah. How many bodies did you find at your building?
How many people did we bury, JC?
7.
We found 7 bodies.
I've only found 3.
They were all
This is the bigger house. Yeah, it's the same here. Have you found any other cattle other than that one cow that ran off?
No.
A small amount of pygmy goats, some chickens float around pecking, and wreckage.
But no sort of large cows, for example, the stuff that you mainly see, right?
Nothing. No horses, no cattle.
Did you two see any siege weaponry by any chance?
No? Why the fuck would there be siege weaponry?
Because those bolts over there are not the normal size for a crossbow.
I'm gonna look at the
The
bolt.
arrows are, bolts aren't.
I'm gonna go look at the
There
bolt
is
and go,
giant footprints.
Nope. Giant footprint?
There were
that's it.
giant footprints.
JC, can I do a history check to see if giants often come around this area and raid farmsteads? If it's like a
You
common
have
thing?
no real basis to inquire about that knowledge, as you've come from the north. If you came from the Park Peaks, coming from Miston, I think was where you had originally stated you were
Yep,
coming
Miston.
from.
Well, I don't know. Are giants coming around this area? I'm gonna look at you three.
I wouldn't know, I'm not used to dealing with such things. I'm not from around here.
Well, neither
Any
am
of you
I.
can roll nature to ascertain what you would know about giants.
Right.
23.
21.
Here we go. Hold on.
They're real pain, I tell you.
Giants, big motherfucker. Wake
He was
up.
bigger than him, that's what he knows.
No. Don't fuck with him. That's about all I know.
I think mine would definitely be with disadvantage.
I got a 6. I know nothing.
I got 7.
We know nothing.
I would
Okay.
know, but like
With a 6 and a 7, giants are big creatures, humanoid in shape, and come in a large variety depending on the climate. With a 21 and a 23, you would know that giants is an overused and overgeneralization of creatures. Typically, when people think of giant, they think of hill, stone, frost, fire giant. However, trolls and ogres and various other creatures of that size category are also considered giants. You would also know
I didn't know
that
this.
in this sort of climate, in this sort of area, hill giants are probably the best ones that you're going to find, as stone giants live in the mountains and frost giants don't really exist on this continent as such. However, you have come across a troll already, so use that knowledge as you would like.
Do we know if, for example, hill giants or trolls work with groups of normal humanoids? Because we've seen normal slash marks and arrows.
It's not uncommon for various creatures to band together to do a task, even if they are not genetically or racially the same. And you realise that as you look around at the dwarf, elf, and triton in your current party.
So the creatures that we're sort of facing probably are a level of intelligence that they understand group tactics. Or something. Kova, do you think this would be a troll or a hill giant?
A troll.
I'm not so sure. That troll we fought earlier didn't seem to understand ranged weaponry as such. It just tried to hit us really hard.
Well, that's what trolls do, isn't it?
Anyone get any indication of where they came from?
We just the same way we just came from. The other farmstead, right? Or not?
No, this one that attacked this place is a second group.
Oh man, we're gonna get busy.
I have idea.
All right,
Their hands are off limit.
no hands. Other than that, you're good. Go ahead, shoot.
That's nice.
Would be right there.
I turn into
Yeah.
bird.
And then?
You turn to bird. Into the bird.
At your level, you cannot fly.
I can turn into a swarm of flying insects.
You
can't fly
turn
yet.
into a swarm. It is a single creature that you are turning into, not a swarm of creatures.
You don't get flight to level 8, I don't believe.
Ilmanor,
Circle
you
of
have your
the
big
moon
bird friend.
forms swarm of flying insects 0.5 level 2.
Does it say that in the book?
It's on beast shapes by druid level.
You can't fly at this level, though, can you?
I'm going to say that you can't turn into a swarm of creatures. That defeats the entire purpose of you turning into a single creature.
Just got attacked by a mosquito.
You can't fly to level 8. As a druid. You can swim, you just can't fly.
Can't we use your new friend here to scout out from above to see where
Oh,
they
that.
fit in?
Yeah, it's probably the good idea.
Well, go ahead then. Ask him.
Companion, have you seen any giant lake creatures around here? And can you get an eye about where they might have come from?
You're calling him
It
companion.
shakes its head in the negative.
I haven't come up with a name just yet. It is in equals, so it is fair.
Ask name.
What might your name be? By any chance? If you have one.
It gives you the look of, how do you want me to tell you my name?
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Telepathically, my good sir. Mine's a 1 now.
Can it speak
Who wants
telepathically with
to
you?
know?
It says so in the thing you sent me.
Okay, then I wasn't sure.
Oh. Okay.
The previous one who had me lived in this farm, but I was not so keen on him. To be like a common pet.
Humans can be sometimes like that. They don't understand the fineries of types.
So true, so true.
So is this where you came from then recently, this farmstead, before it was burned?
Yes. And he points to the third farmstead. That one.
How come you're not burnt?
We can't hear him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't- we
Tell
don't
your
like-
friend the reason I'm not burnt is because I flew away.
He can fly, he is a bird.
He kind of flies over and like lands in front of Illness, and again like looks at him as and then flies back.
He's not used to the outside world as much. He prefers to study indoors, not throw away his get-up.
So boring.
Indeed. You should have seen some of the amazing land in the Fae I've seen. It's beautiful, I must say.
Yes, quite.
So were you here when the people attacked?
I was. Didn't care to stick around and see what happened though.
Perfectly fair point.
I reasoned that I would be taken with all the rest of them like cattle.
Did you see where they came in from?
No, I was asleep.
Again, a very fair point.
I was kept in a coop, like a mere pigeon. He ruffles his feathers.
They crushed yourself on a tree? Disappointing, really.
What did you say?
Anyway.
Laura?
I was like, it didn't let you sit on a tree? It's disappointing, really. Anyway. Dwallace, you're from
Yes.
Misson, you saying? Have you ever been up this route before?
No.
Oh, well, that doesn't help much. So is there any free farmsteads here, JC?
There are three. Yes, there are three clusters that you can see here.
It'd probably be best to check out the third cluster and then try and explore more inland, because that's where I assume they came from. Are there any boat, like, running aground markings on the beaches? Did we see it all?
You're quite a distance away from the shores now. You've moved along the floodplain and out of the floodplain, over the crest and down the other side. You imagine if there was ever such a level of water that pushed the river banking up this high, you'd be talking about Noah's Ark level of flooding.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
We should go check out the third and final house.
Yes, let's go. Lead the way, Ilmenor.
Can I, as soon as this one was different than the last, can I roll an investigation to see if I can spot any food in the kitchen or any shiny things, or...
You head inside, and the kitchen is the room that has collapsed in the back rear corner.
So is there any access on?
Like you can stand in the bent and sagging doorway, but there is no way to get into the room as the floor above has collapsed in on this section.
Mm. Question. I have a gust of wind. Do you think if I do gust of wind, do you think that it could clear, like push some of the debris out the way so I could get into the room or not?
No. I like that you're trying very hard to figure out a way to do anything but physical work to just lift and clear, but we're talking about wooden beams, timbers, rugs, shattered cabinets, tables and such that have all been squashed by the floor above. A gust of wind is not going to do anything other than kick up the dust.
Right, guys, before we head on, can we bury these guys too?
Oh. Whilst they're
It's only
doing
three
that,
of them.
I'm gonna start clearing the stuff and try and get in.
While she does that, I'm gonna prepare to go bury the guys, the buddies we found here.
Okay then. How do you do so, Wallace? Explain to me build the scene for us.
Alright, I'll see if I can find a nice little spot that isn't touched by the destruction near the house, and go over there, start digging up. How many bodies did we find here? 3?
You have found 3.
Yeah, and one was a kid, so I'll make a small hole and then 2 regular size holes, and then I'll find 3 decent sized rocks, place them in front of them, and carve an X in them with my blacksmith tools real quick to notify a grave. But since I don't know their name, I can't put a name on there. And say a little bit of prayer, rest in peace. And then I'm gonna see if they are done yet.
Okay. It's a somber moment, and you do find a suitable pathway that seems to have connected the 3 steads back to a roadway of some sort. It's upon this that the hard-packed earth is very easily to till up with a shovel that was at hand, and placing the boundary stones and marking them with an X. A gentle breeze buffets through your hair and moves your beard in that moment where you've laid to rest 3 people that their lives were cut short too quickly, and you gain a DM inspiration for this act of humility.
Thank you very much.
Kova, make an athletics.
14.
You manage to pull out what would remain of a dining room table and some chairs, but the more that you pull out from underneath the sagging flooring above, the more it groans and creaks and begins to cave in a greater degree. Whereas before it would be as if a corner has been taken out and it is now toppling without this other substance underneath to support it. Eventually you hear a large crack, and some form of beam that is out of sight clearly has had too much, and with a large thud, the area that you have been excavating refills in with the bed chamber of the floor above.
Okay, can I go and search the rest of the house and see if there's any shinies or anything around there then?
You do, and you do not. Your search
Any nice
yields
clothes?
nothing of any sort. There are simple garbs, there are some cloaks, muddy boots, and farm utensils. There is nothing of worth. This place has been stripped.
I'm gonna take another set of clothes.
Okay, mark them into your inventory. Illness?
A nail. A nail.
Yes, sorry, Emil.
Yes.
What are you
You
doing?
have been standing around doing nothing and watching everyone else do other things. I am assuming you either have a reason for this, or...
I thought I was helping with Dwalius's burying of bodies.
Ah, my apologies, I did not hear that.
I realised because I forgot I muted myself because I was eating. That's on me.
Fair enough. Okay, you all come back together around the same point. What would you like to do now?
There was other, like, homesteads and stuff that we haven't seen, because you said that there was 3 farms, right?
Yes, so
There's
3
one more.
farms, each of them with a home and other buildings attached. The first one that you came across seems to have taken the largest brunt of damage and has been set ablaze. whereas this building seems to have taken much more in the way of blunt force trauma, slashing, and ranged weaponry. The barn and the stable, which are separate and down at the other end of the expanse inside the boundary walls, you have yet to investigate.
Well, I'll go there.
Okay. The stables and the barn each seem to have been tilted, as if a large hand has pressed on their top corners and has taken good amusement in seeing how far they will go before it will topple. Each one creaks ominously and leans at a precarious level of degrees. It is as if a strong gust of wind, or looking at it with disdain, they would fall over. There is silence everywhere.
Can we look inside?
Which one?
How many are there?
There's the barn, which has got the doors, and then the stables, which is open.
I'll take.
We haven't been inside the stables, have we?
No,
Not
these
in this
ones,
farmstead, no.
that's the other one. They are leaning real precariously, right? Can I pick up a small stone and just throw it against it to make sure that's not enough to fucking top?
Yeah, you throw it and hit it with a pebble, and it kind of slides up and then skitters back down before coming to a halt.
Right, seems safe enough. Let's take a look in the barn,
Okay,
and then the door.
can you make a athletics check, please?
Can I do that? That's a good question. I don't know. My history and rolls doesn't really look well for this. No, I cannot. 10.
Then you strain at the door, but again, as this building has tilted, the door frame itself seems to have squashed in on the door, and with its increased weight and friction digging into the earth, you manage to feel the door flex, but it does not budge from its housing.
Dumbledore, help me out here! Come on!
If you must. And I'm going to reach out and start helping him.
Okay, roll again with advantage.
Alright.
Or each of you roll separate.
Proper advantage.
What do you say?
What's going on? An 11 and a 9!
This is something to move.
Oh, that wasn't the door.
And that is what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one last try.
It isn't locked, is it?
He hasn't checked.
Can
Can I check if it's locked?
Yes, that's an
14.
investigation.
You
Does
just
it
try
budge?
the handle and open it.
What does an 18 tell me about this door?
There is a beam of some sort that has been lowered on the inside, pulling on the door. Will not, unless you roll something high, we need to remove that beam first.
What if I create bonfire on the door?
No, do not burn down the house just yet. The door is locked. Pulling won't help much.
26.
Ha! If I set fire to it, maybe.
26, doesn't that work? Is that not high enough?
It's something out of a Disney film cartoon. He runs up and kicks on it, and it doesn't move. He then grabs the handle and pulls on it, realizes that it's not going to work, spits in his hands, rubs them together, rolls up the sleeves of his chain shirt, grabs hold of the door, and just as you say, it's barred, it's not going to... And suddenly the door and the bar behind it come flying out. Dwalis stumbles on his stubbier legs, spins gracefully and plants the door in the ground, stands up and goes, aha! And he feels a small twinge in his back. Should have warmed up.
I got it.
It's open.
I got it. I told you I had it. Oh.
Was there any windows or anything around the house?
On the household, yes. On the barn, there is a single opening about 10 feet above the door frame.
This is unnecessary now.
You could have just.
Do I take exhaustion from this, JC?
No. You take out an ego kicking, but that's probably about it.
I ripped the fucking door out of its hinges. My ego is okay.
Jeez.
Even if it took me 3 tries.
Like I say, something out of a Disney film.
Try. If you try again and succeed, I mean, you gotta hand it to you. It's and no, not those hands, not those hands.
Dwarven stubbornness wins the day.
Dwarven determination.
It's twice your height. How'd you do that?
What?
I pat you on the head.
The hell are you doing? Who are you patting on the head?
I'm patting you
I
on
would
the head.
step back from the.
Yeah.
Oh, you better not. I'd move away. Stay away from my head.
You don't pet a dwarf on the head. You yank his beard really hard, and they love it. You know.
Oh, try it, Ilmanor. Try it.
I thought
And
you
I'll,
never tell you.
I'll stroke my beard and go, this is a majestic beard, and you better not touch it, Ilmanor.
Can I just go
I will
into
have
the
some
barn?
stewed bird.
You indeed go into the barn.
I am laughing in character at this. I just think the small man funny. Haha.
You calling me small?
I mean, you can't deny you are kind of short.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna punch him in the nuts. Just a straight punch, so he becomes a little bit shorter. He's not a strong dude. I'm not gonna hit him full out. Don't insult a dwarf for being small, you bastard!
They get a clean shot.
Exactly! Right, now that that's taken care of, get back on your feet and let's go.
Heaving a wheezing Enil onto his feet, you realise that Kova has already stepped inside the barn.
No patience, does she?
Inside the barn, there is a few large sacks of various descriptions that have been piled in the back corner. Hay is strewn about the floor, creating a soft padding underneath. The building is quite warm and it clearly has been designed well. As you step inside, though, the ominousness of the building's precarious positioning means that looking straight up, you instead, rather than looking up at the eaves of the building of the lodestone beam at the top, you're instead looking at the rimming structure, the wooden decking that rises and rings the layer above.
So there's like an upstairs to it as
There
well.
is, yes.
I want to go and check those 3 sacks first.
Okay, as you move over to the stacks, you hear someone whimpering.
So what?
You hear someone whimpering.
I'm just gonna move the sack.
Something's
You
whimpering.
move the sacks aside and come across a huddling, very skinny, rather lanky-looking individual who is currently covering his head in his arms and has not looked at you.
And has not looked at me.
Nope, he is cowering away from you.
Is he young?
Kind of hard to tell.
Can I look in the sack?
I don't have anything sticking to you.
Grover, have you found something?
You three step in and see a shnivelling male curled up near to the point of a pretzel in the corner, cowering away from Kova.
Kova, get back here.
There seems to be something crying at me.
It's alright.
Can we kill
Don't
him?
have to be scared. No!
No.
Kova, come here!
Who are you?
I'm gonna grab Kova and lead her out of the barn.
Please let me live.
Maybe. Who are you?
We're not gonna hurt you. Calm down. Or
It is an ugly sound as he cries.
calm down. Take a second. We're not gonna kill you. We're not here to hurt you. We're not with the raiders or whoever came here before.
His arms move away from his face, and the second he sees you, he grabs hold of you, pulling himself up to your, admittedly, not so your eye level, by grabbing hold of your shirt and part of your beard and pulling you close. Please, you gotta spare me. I don't wanna die.
Calm down. Hold on. What happened here?
Through his panicking, you are eventually able to ascertain that a number of raiding parties came in and ransacked the homesteads. He, being the poor stable boy and newly hired person to the farm, was living in with the horses and such in the eaves of the stable next door. Knowing that it doesn't really have any big door as such, he ran in here and slammed the thing shut and hid in a corner, piling whatever items he could to protect himself. He listened as something large laughingly started to push over the building that you are currently in, before another voice called out in a language he did not understand, and the creaking stopped, perhaps just in time. He has been here and has not slept. He is exhausted, strung out, and in an emotional wreck.
I'm gonna
You okay? You okay?
give him some rations.
Let Illness take Enel take this one.
Okay.
I was gonna give him some water. Feed him some water.
It's the second try he actually manages to swallow it. The first time he kind of inhales it and splutters it out and starts coughing again. The second time he manages to get down, and it's.
I'm holding it for him still because they look weak.
Not weak as such, just strung out to all hell.
Yeah, like you've been worked and you're like after a long day's work, after like you've worked for a full week non-stop, you can barely lift your arms, sort of thing.
Are you with the military?
No, why do you ask?
Well, he kind of looks at the dwarf in heavy armour, an elf with a long sword, and the mage. I was told that's what the military looked like. They came in with, a mixed group, kind of a couple fighters and a backup mage. This is what happens.
Are you scared of the military?
No.
Inside.
I don't trust. I'm gonna look into this.
Certainly.
I'm gonna take an insight check. Definitely. I got a nat 20, by the way.
With a nat 20, you can tell that he is lying.
That's fine. I was dishonorably discharged. We don't work with them. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I work for myself.
I can't believe it. Mr. Wentz, they just killed him. They just cut him down. Dragged him out and ran him through. It was awful.
That sounds like fun! Huh?
Kova, down.
Crazy.
So, what would you say attacked you? Just raiders or something more large?
They were large. They were organised. It was big fellas, big crossbows firing everywhere. There was spears and swords. Just came in, kicking and screaming, bashing down everything they could. People didn't know what was going on. Before we even had a chance, they'd taken over everything. I saw all the other steads going up in flames, and I didn't want that. I knew I had to hide.
What?
No, just people, like just there were dark shapes moving around with bones sticking out of them and wild marks and leather armor.
You didn't get a look at any of their faces.
No, they were just. I mean, the big fellas. There was carrying folk. They had like a thing on their back that was holding up a bunch of others, and then the people that ran in had swords, and they were just hacking at everything. And then they had I didn't see much after that, but I heard like all the stuff being sacked away in carts. The horses were hitched up and were whipped. I heard them screaming out, and I heard people being dragged away and people being killed. And it was just I don't want to be part of that anymore.
Well, you're not. You're the one to survive. Do you know where they came from? What direction they attacked from? Or you're just hidden here?
I just hid here. I was asleep. I didn't expect nothing. Don't expect 100 people to come out of nowhere screaming and waving axes and clubs.
100, you saying?
I don't know, there's a lot of them. It's dark. They came in with torches, and I'll only see a few of them. There's quite a few torches.
Which way do they come from?
He indicates, if you're looking at the continent map, he indicates southward.
Okay. Do you think we should? Did they go back that way, or?
Maybe. I think so.
Thank you.
Please, you gotta protect me. If they come back, I'll have anywhere to go. That was my home.
There's no reason for them to come back. They have everything from here they ever wanted.
I can't stay here. No, there's nothing on it, is there? There's death. There's people dead everywhere.
Is there any towns nearby?
Dead. No, I don't know. Maybe some villages. Villages to that way. And he points where the sun rises from. That way, dawnward. Well, I had.
I see. Do you want to wait here while we go deal with the
No! Don't here! He can grab hold of you.
Oh, you want to come with us then? You want to come help fight these giants?
No! You're gonna folk, right? You're not gonna leave me here, are you? You're gonna take me away from here. I want to stay here. I don't want to go fight them. Monsters! They killed everybody!
Everybody's dead. I thought they took people away.
He just kind of slumps back down. The
I
fact
think
that you
there's more of
guys
them
aren't
we
seeming
took
to.
than just you.
He just stops really speaking at this point.
I'm unlocking me sack.
Is there a hand in there?
Ah.
Lot of grain.
Hmm?
Lot of grain. It's a sack full of unfiltered grain.
What about the other sacks? Are they the same?
Same. Yeah.
And I pour them out and look.
What are you doing?
Well, there's nothing here left for you. Apparently.
It's my stuff! It's a father's stuff! No, that's my stuff, what are you doing with it?
I look in the sack to find grain. You own only grain?
I mean, I'm looking at anything else, do I? You took
You
everything
feel
else.
around in the grain.
You can
In all
find
of
more
the
grain.
bags.
He's a peasant, not a rich wealthy man. He won't have more than grain. Well, you wish to head south to fix this problem? Or
I very
No,
much.
I don't want to go
Right.
south and fix it. Fucking kill me.
talking to you?
Shush. The big ones are talking.
The grown-ups are talking.
Yeah. The ones not petrified and hiding in bags. We're talking for a bit. I think we should look into this. It'll give us an inclination as to what happened here. I might even be able to help free some people.
Plus, if they're well organized, they obviously have equipment. As our friend here just told us.
Yeah. I
Right.
whisper to the other to Eleanor Moore.
Yes.
I don't want this guy to come with us. I don't trust him.
He's also quite loud as well.
What do you know about him?
Nothing. I think we should just tell him to head to that near town and just ignore him.
Smart. This is why they pay the big bucks.
I've robbed the sack of grain, by the way.
He's taking all his stuff.
What do you mean robbed it?
That's mine. It's mine now.
He just picked it up and walked away.
Yeah.
Hey, where are you going? Give it back! He goes after Kova. Give it back, it's mine! It's not yours!
You won't
You
catch
just
it.
take! You don't just take anything you want! That's what they're like! Give it back! He tries to pull it away from you.
I'm gonna get out my sword and aim it towards him.
I'm gonna stop her.
You're not
Don't let
there.
go of it.
I walked out, okay?
Alright. Go ahead.
He's gonna kill a 4-year-old man.
If I was you, I would get back in that barn.
You
Alright?
can't take my stuff, though! You can't take my stuff, look at nothing else! Look! And kind of gestures around. Everything's all gone!
I'll give him a gold piece.
He takes it.
You're oddly generous.
I'm gonna.
That's not less than gold piece.
I'm gonna go and search the other place.
The stables?
Mm.
Inside you find a couple of dead horses.
Oh,
Do they have hands?
do they have hands?
Don't think we need to roll in perception to get to know whether they have hands or not.
They're mutant horses.
Can I check around to see if there's any hidden underground doors, or if there's anything around?
You scan around and you find nothing aside from a butchered person. It seems that they tried hiding with the horses, and the horses were byproducts of whatever creature decided they didn't. They took offense to this person being alive.
I might drag that person into where the rest of the other guys are.
But okay.
Guys!
Just
Found
get
a friend!
take the hand. We'll bury the body.
Does she really need more hands?
She's gonna take it no matter what we do. So
Nah, I don't want this hand.
okay.
Leg, perhaps?
Might take the tongue.
What are you guys doing?
You getting creative at least.
What? It's just you cutting on people. It's alright.
I've already walked off to go dig some graves again.
got my
fact-
little mini shovel out.
In fact, what colours this person's eyes?
Brown?
Disgusting.
You think it's either way.
Yeah. None of this. My character isn't just beyond surprised at your character at this point. It's just.
There are worse people in the world, trust me.
I'm
At
gonna
least he's just weird. At least he's not killing them for the eyes.
For now.
Yeah, for
You
now.
farmhand. How long have you been here working?
Couple of weeks.
Any idea if anyone else would be alive here?
I don't know. Maybe. If I managed to get away. A couple of people maybe hiding like I did.
Well, as you're the last survivor for now, I'd recommend you look for others. And if no one else is around, I suppose you could just earn yourself a few farmsteads to look after for a while.
I'm not staying here.
Isn't that... Where are you going to go then?
You're gonna go to the village, like you said. You said you're gonna take me.
No,
We said you were going to take you. You can walk yourself.
not that far, is
I
it?
can't walk there. Let me come back.
What do you mean?
Then
Oh,
you were
they come
hiding
back.
like last time.
Well, there's other people that you can sell out for your coins. We're not protecting you.
I mean, he can't even defend himself, so... Well,
Alright then.
there's two options. You can either stay here, and we'll come back after we finish off these marauders, and we might help you out. Or you can decide to head off on your own.
So you're either here by yourself,
You know,
with them all,
actually,
you're screwed, or you're in the
he goes
village.
he goes in and grabs up the two grain sacks, which are fairly decently heavy, by the way, Kova. That's pretty much filling up most of your inventory now. He pulls up his two sacks and makes his way to the farm. Oh, one of the farmhouses.
Can I go? Because you said that there was a second layer to the farmhouse, right? Can I go up the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
If there is any.
It's a ladder, and climbing up the ladder, you find there is a number of barrels.
What's in the barrels?
Collated water, rainwater, some salted meats, and some berries. Berries, nuts, mixed, kind of like trail mix, I suppose.
A nail.
Yes.
Catch. And I'm just gonna chuck down a sack of grain for him.
Okay.
I
The
go
sack
down
of
the way.
grain that you carried up there, you drop down. Emil, do you try and catch it?
No. I'm trying to dodge away. Rolling acrobatics.
Run away! That's like a thump.
It impacts the floor and grain flies everywhere.
Why are you asking me to catch this and you're throwing it at me? You know I'm not that strong.
I wonder why.
If we give her more bags of grain, she'll probably take out one of those giants by herself.
Can I try and get the barrels that have got the salted meat and the berries and stuff down? One by one.
There is a crane and winch system, yes.
I'm gonna get them down.
Okay, you lower them down.
Mm-hmm.
The farmhand returns at this point, sees that you've lowered down the barrels, walks up and grabs them and starts walking away with them.
No.
This is my stuff. Can't take it. You didn't earn it. You don't
You
pay
said
for
you
it.
worked here.
Yeah,
This isn't
if I'm the
your
only one
stuff.
left, Yeah, I'm going to sell it. Make sure these people get proper treatment.
No.
Well, when the remaining heads of the household return, I think they'll have a few questions to say, but carry on your
continues
work
walking.
now.
He continues
No.
walking away with the barrels.
Cova, we'll come back later.
No. I want the barrels. I just got them down. They're mine. And I'm gonna.
You're not even in the barrels.
What?
You're not actually in those barrels.
Yeah.
What?
Her
Dude.
stuff.
My stuff. Mine. That's mine.
I'm just going to start walking away at this. I'm not dealing with this.
Right.
I'm gonna pick up.
I say, come on, Cova.
No, I'm gonna pick up a pebble and throw it at the guy. Then I'm gonna run after him.
Okay, he
Strike him
accepts
up.
the hit. Okay, make a. He'll try and not be tripped. Make an athletics to try and trip him. Whoops. That's not right.
18.
That's the first dice I've rolled this evening. 9. You trip him up and he goes flat on his face. What's wrong with you?
I'm leaving the chickens, the goats, the cow. You have them. This.
Well, then you should pay for this stuff, otherwise you're thieving.
I don't care.
Well, I do. It's my stuff.
No.
What makes it yours?
I found it. It's mine.
You didn't find it. It was stored here. Those things came in the night, tried stealing everything else. It's all I've got left.
Wait here. For how long did you say?
You've not worked here.
We're about to go and kill. What ransom?
Well, then you can go take the stuff that they've already taken, can't you? You can leave me this.
No, you've got everything else.
No,
You
this is
got
mine.
it.
And
I'm gonna kill him.
gets up. He gets up and starts walking away again with the barrels.
I'm gonna attack him with my scimitar.
Okay, no, now we're stopping. I'm going to sleep.
Nope. Roll your
I
attack.
already said
Roll your
that
attack.
is a natural 20.
Oh.
Okay.
What?
Roll damage.
Oh.
It was
I just walk over to Dwalius and start crying.
I'm nowhere near
Hey.
fuckers.
Yeah, he's walking away from this.
Do you even?
9.
Yeah, no, I was.
Is the
already-
d6
We were
doubled?
walking away. I carry on
Mhm.
walking away. I thought I'd try to catch up with you.
I rolled
Okay.
really bad on the d6.
One second, let me get the. I have no idea what the HP of a commoner is.
Not much. She may have just killed him in one hit.
No, you're supposed to make a good.
He goes down to the ground.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to murder civilians, Robin.
I'm right.
Enil, you. Sorry, not Enil. Imanor, you watched Kova strike this guy across the back with her scimitar, and the guy is now on the ground, bleeding out.
I'm going to try and stabilize him.
I'm just gonna go and walk back to the boat with my barrels.
Okay, you roll medicine.
20.
He is stable, and he will eventually rouse in about an hour unless you try anything else to heal him.
I have another way of healing him, so I'm going to take him to the barn. Whatever grain sacks are left, I'm just going to place them on it. And I'm going to leave him 4 gold pieces.
Okay then. While this has been going on, you have dug another few graves for other people, for this other person. You've come back to collect the body, and you can see the guy Well, actually, you don't see the guy because he was moved. So you don't see or hear the guy that you have found, and the others are doing what they're doing. You see Kova walking away with a couple of barrels towards the river.
Counting upon Kova walking away with barrels, and I'm assuming that the guy went off to the village, so let's go back to the boats. Or do you want to go overland, Illuminor? It's up to you.
I thought we were going to head southwards towards where we suspect they came from.
I thought that was we were doing the same too.
Well, she seems to be having different plans, I say, as I point in the woman walking away towards the boats in the opposite direction.
I scream. Kova, we're going the other way.
You hear this, Kova?
Huh, what?
We're going the other way. We're going that way, not that way.
Just gesturing southwards.
Okay, I'll turn around and go the other way with both the barrels in my arms, plodding along.
Okay. You're technically at full capacity. You will have to place them down whenever you try and do anything, because these are, full big items.
Why the hell are you dragging along two barrels, Kova?
It's best not to ask.
We have food.
What's in those barrels? Have you checked?
I'm gonna try to open one of them while she walks.
I'll place it down and let him open it.
Inside one is packed, dried, and salted meat, typically known as wasna.
I'm gonna grab me a few slices of the dried meat and then walk on, sighing. And eat them while walking, and put the rest in my backpack.
Eat one, place the lid back in, and then carry on plodding along.
Okay. Like I say, it is difficult. Your travelling distance over the period of a full day will be reduced unless someone else carries one of the barrels for you.
I do not.
Neither do I.
Well, Kova starts to fall behind as you walk. Even Dwalis is able to outpace Kova in her current state.
So, Neil, where did you go to school?
Kova, you should probably drop one of those. Do you really need that much food? How long do you think we'll be gone?
A long time.
Just fill up your backpack and leave the rest. I'm not gonna carry that for you, and I'm gonna go and hurry up and catch up to the other two. Go on, hurry up.
Don't look at me, I'm waiting to see what you do with all this.
I'm just casually ignoring her.
We're just walking on.
We're just walking at a gentle pace.
Come on, hurry up.
I'm gonna tie off the barrel and place it, tie it off onto my back. Securely tie it with knots around my back. And I'm just gonna roll the other one in front of me.
That's one way of doing it.
Donkey Kong style.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay then. The four of you and two barrels make your way. Let me just check the time. What time are we at?
10 to 9.
You walk along the embankment, keeping to the rise as much as possible and ducking between the small mounds and burns that dot this landscape. Eventually you'll come across a number of small streams which are easy to ford, though with Kova's barrels it is an ordeal, and eventually I'm sure that the noise of it becomes difficult. Throughout the day, you travel, though you do notice various other villages and such have had similar sackings. The first village you come across seems to be fairly depopulated, though there are actually survivors milling around. It is your choice if you go to talk to them.
I think, given what's happened with Kova so far and people, I think we should make our stay brief.
What do you mean? What happened with Kova and people?
She's a people person.
She tried to kill a man.
What? When?
Oh, an hour ago?
What? Who did she kill?
She didn't kill anybody.
Who did she try to kill?
The peasant.
The farmhand who...
He wasn't being very useful, in fact, though. I'll give her that.
Kill him, Kova.
Just
So
give
you
me a
got-
headache.
We could give you a headache.
She didn't kill him, I made sure of that.
You can't maim someone because they give you a headache, Ilmanor. Come on now. You give me a headache doesn't mean I'll jab a sword in your throat, does it?
Wasn't in the throat, and I need to talk to her later about that. We have more pressing matters currently.
More pressing matters than our teammate murdering the fucking innocent populace.
No one was murdered.
It's your responsibility, Ilmanor. Okay.
With the discussions of ethics and morality surrounding what is going on, you continue to follow the path of destruction into the distance, bypassing farmstead, village and household alike as they seem to recover from whatever horde has raided along this pathway. And I believe that is where we're probably going to tie it up for tonight, as that's a good place to stop before we get into anything else. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. But before we disappear, we must do one final thing. We must figure out the plays of the night. Now, considering there was, 3 NPCs, including a turducken, I'm not sure which one is going to get the NPC vote of the night, but...
It was definitely the turducken.
The turducken.
Who is it that then gets the player play of the night? And again, I will invite people on the stream to leave their remarks, to leave the stream going for a few more minutes as they cast in their votes. But for you three, you four, who among your other three do you cast your vote on?
I wanted to say a quick something as we're walking through the destroyed villages. It's like I just make the comment to Dwalius. It could have been worse. She could be trying to do this to the villagers and completely destroying them, rather than a misunderstanding where she nearly killed someone.
And I will frown heavily, and that's where we'll leave it.
I know you're not happy, but it's the best we got. We just
It kind of is.
So again, I reiterate, who do you vote for your play of the night?
Top to bottom?
Sure.
Bottom.
Allura,
What's
go
the
ahead.
third?
Who do you
Bottom
vote
to
for
top.
first?
I prefer bottom to top.
Okay then. Will,
So I need to think.
Oh no.
you've been put on the
Well
spot.
then, I'll go. Dwalius for his form of ethics and actually burying the bodies. And generally being kinder than everybody else, it seems. For whatever
Okay.
reasons.
So
I'll
we
go
have a
next.
vote for Dwalius.
Yeah, I think
Dwalius, who do you vote for?
Dwalius just ended up being the nice handyman,
Nice handyman.
whereas some of us, whereas Kova's getting us as much into trouble as she is doing
Good.
good. Yeah.
I did specify that I was not making a good character.
I feel like it's pure chaos at this point.
My character is chaotic.
I think it is just pure chaos.
I'm gonna save my comments for after the stream. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That is absolutely fair enough.
My play of the night, I think, goes to Ryan's subtle interactions with the Hawk, where he made a point to insult people around him without anyone knowing, and also Kova's interpretation of Ilmanor's supposedly beautiful face as ugly.
I was really most people while speaking in silver so they didn't understand it.
So we've got
Exactly,
two
that's
on,
what I liked about it. That's
we've got
like
two on
because you added
Dwarves
that
and
little.
one on.
The thing is
Ilmenor.
that I did understand it, so fuck you!
Oh, you do? Okay. I don't know that though.
Indeed. Okay then, so thank you very much for joining us in the adventures of Turkducken and the ragtag group that is this adventuring party, and we will pick up from here next week. Thank you all. Share, let everyone know about our streams. We do this every week. We do a Wednesday stream with Curse of Strahd. We do this game, which is campaign 1, and the second campaign, which is campaign 2, set in the exact same world with a different group. The chaos incarnates that injects a lot of entertainment into these games. The lovely Allura is part of that one as well, so make sure to tune in, and we shall see you in the next stream. Good night, everybody.
She's not as covert as normal.